going on? Legionary here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our Daily Gaming XP grind, episode 115. So today we're going to be finally working on rune crafting, and I'm not quite sure how much is actually on the ground, but obviously we've got to get this started, and what better time than now? Obviously we're not going to go quite for a million XP yet, as we're waiting more towards Valhalla comes to the game. And it seems, I don't know, I hadn't really noticed this. um I guess I don't know why it wasn't working for me, but now it is. There's sort of like a critical hit effect going on, so that's actually really cool that they added that. And I'll have to look more into that update. I guess I didn't even realize it was out, and as I stated, I guess I don't know, it didn't take effect for me. Quite interesting. So anyway, the things I wanted to sort of talk about today are basically different creatures that could come to the game, and I know that they've already talked about what's going to be sort of coming with Valhalla. It looks like some sort of like skeleton creatures, things like that. So um I think it's a little bit interesting. I'm really hoping that in Valhalla it's not just all skeletons, right? Obviously, I think they need to break it up. I think let's talk about current content in the game, what they could have done differently. Obviously, I'm extremely happy with what we have in the game. I'm just sort of bringing about things that could have been different, that could have been really cool. I was actually driving around today a little bit earlier, and I started to really think about what could be really cool in the game, right? And obviously, they're going to make a new area that's going to have shade. Um, that would be great to add scorpions to the game, because obviously the original RuneScape had scorpions, and we're not on Gillinor. But Ashenfall, that seems like a relatively common creature that you could add. That could be a little bit of fun, could be dangerous. It could be a lot of fun. So I do want to fix my pickaxe really quick. So we're going to have to see if we have any steel bars over here. I do not. So we're going to have to run and grab some, or one rather. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back, because I sort of got distracted, and ultimately we're talking about things in the game that are currently in the game. So I think something that they could have done that would have been really cool is actually, that was really weird how that just sort of shot over there. I don't even know what that is. What is this? All these logs. Something must have got destroyed. I'm not quite sure. I feel like something's missing right here. It seems potentially all my campfires got destroyed. Really weird. I don't think I've ever quite seen anything like this. Very interesting. So all my campfires got destroyed, and I've got no idea how it happened. That is so strange. And I really got off topic, but I just thought I would address the fact that all my campfires were destroyed while I was away from the game. So that's really interesting. So let's jump back a little bit and talk about what we were just talking about. So, what could be in the game that would be really cool? Um, I think one of the things that they could have done in the swamp, instead of having more goblins and more like the rats, I think really fit. But I think they could have broken it up a little bit more. Obviously, we've already got the Abyssal Demon there. I think it would have been really cool to add Moss Giants. I think that would have been really cool. I was thinking about that quite a bit driving today. And then potentially in a fire area, they could add Fire Giants. I think that would be really fun. I think it would be really cool. Obviously, it's a little late to do that, but and I'm sure they're not going to watch my video, but obviously I could post it on Discord, and I really want to know what they have to say about it. I think it would be really cool. So it's something I'm going to have to really sort of suggest. I'm sure someone might have already suggested that, but I think it really fits well. And I think that with the graphics in the game, they could make the creature look really cool for us. So I think that would be quite entertaining as well. And it could have all these mechanics, and just something really to think about. And I think it would be extremely fun and extremely cool. And then you've got ice giants. I'm not sure if there's going to be ice areas in Felhollow, but that would really fit in well, because I've got to say I'm grown tired of Garu. I think they're boring now, and obviously if you're just starting to play the game, it's entertaining for a little bit, but you have to have more of a variety. And there's so many creatures that you can grab from the RuneScape world that I think that could really be fun and just could really provide lots of entertainment. Sorry, I just got to do something really quick here. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a great idea to sort of add those creatures to the mix. And I think we'd all really, really have a good time with it. I guess that's really the only monsters that really came to mind. I don't think, I mean, potentially in the shade area, you could do, what is it, worms? The creatures that sort of hang out under the surface. And when you move around, maybe that could be a really cool sort of a survival mechanic. They sort of feel the footsteps, almost like tremors, where you can only move a certain distance at a time, and then you have to wait a couple seconds. I think that would be really cool. That could go with agility actually, because they're going to add agility to the game. Maybe every time you successfully make it, or some sort of thing like that, it sort of levels up your agility. I don't know. I was just sort of contemplating different monsters they could add to the game that would be a lot of fun, versus just basically having a million of the same creature in the game. I think it's, I don't want to say lazy because obviously the developers work really hard on the game. I just think so much more could have been done, and I think it would have been a lot funner, but obviously it is early access. But we're already currently up to level 50, so you've got to really look at it like we've only got about 50 more levels to go, and I don't think they're going to be breaking it up into groups of 5. So I think that you've really got to utilize the creatures that you can do. But I suppose there's still plenty of time, and if they wanted to, they could easily do it at a higher level. You could add different creatures at higher levels. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm definitely going to be posting it on Discord. I don't know. I just sort of had the idea come to me, and I think it would be a really, really good idea. So that's one thing. I suppose I really don't have any other sort of creatures that really come to mind currently that I think would. Obviously, there's probably plenty that would make a great addition to the game. Fell Hollow probably. I don't know if that's what they were talking about, the White Knights, Castle, or the Black Knights. I can't really remember, but fighting those would be incredibly cool if they did it right. I don't know how their movement would really be. They'd have to be rather fast, so that way they can catch us. Otherwise, we could just sort of run and kite them around. So I've got no idea for that, but still, that would be really cool. And potentially, maybe every really, really like rare drop, you get pieces of their armor. Just because cosmetically, it would be really fun to be able to wear it. I don't think it would do really great in battle, but obviously, a lot of people play games and it becomes cosmetics, and I think they can be fun if it's done correctly. Obviously not like a pay to win. I don't think that's fun. I think it's boring. It's like who's got the most money is going to have the most skins, and obviously, I think working for it gives a sense of gratification. So if you basically killed 2,000 of these white knights, you would have the whole set, and it would sort of add like, regardless, everyone's playing their own adventure in RuneScape Dragonwilds, but obviously anybody who potentially makes a video or posts pictures of their adventures on RuneScape Dragonwilds, you would see them with this armor, and I don't really think there would be a way to cheat that as well. I can't really think of one. I mean, I don't think they have something in the game where you let your player or your character play by itself. So essentially, you would have to do it. I think you would have to do the work. So I think that would be really cool. Unless someone found some sort of weird cheat code that gives you all the cosmetics. But then again, like cheating is not for me. It's not fun. If I've got something really cool, I find a lot of it's just really awesome to me to be like, I mean, it's not for everyone obviously, but I killed 2,000 of this creature and now I have this really cool armor because I luckily got it to drop. That's, I think, one thing in it. I don't think that just sticks with MMOs. I think it could really work here. I think it really ties in nicely. But you can see even here, we don't have as many lodestones with Rune Essence, but it's still taking a really long time, and we actually forgot to pop a rune crafting potion, so we've been wasting a little bit of extra XP here and there. But ultimately, these are things that I think, I don't know, like, I'm sort of got sidetracked, but basically important. Don't forget your potions, and then going back to that, obviously, killing creatures and getting a specific drops after a specific amount of time. I don't know if they could really work it in though, because potentially they would have already done it with some of the creatures in the game. I'm not sure if that's inside the coding or how it would work, But these are just cool things that I think could be fun. I'm really excited for achievements to come to the game. I know they talked a little bit about it, I think, in a developer's blog, but this was quite a ways ago. Don't know how far they are along from actually making that a reality. So just got to wait and see. But like the graphics in the game are just amazing, and there's so many cool things about the game. So we're really excited about it, and I'm gonna have to shoot these down the old-fashioned way with my crossbow because it doesn't appear that I brought my bow because I thought these would all be on the ground. So let's just go ahead and blast this. I either forgot to do this one. I believe I did, so that's why they're still floating. All right. And I'm trying to debate right now because I think by the time I gather all this, it will be time. What's that? Oh, there's some essence, and I don't think I have a lodestone over there. Let's see. Actually, it's right here, and I do. So basically, I think we're just going to collect all the rune essence in this video, do an XP update, and then in the next one, we will be working, we will be probably making the runes. So that's actually, I think, where most of the XP comes from. 129 critical, and these guys are dead. I'm not sure if the cosmetic look of that actually helps us do more damage, or it actually added criticals, or potentially it's just for looks. But it's still pretty cool to, like, I guess, know how much damage you're doing. I think that's a really cool thing, except it's sort of weird on mining. Obviously, it's allowing me to let me know, oh, you got a critical, but I don't know if it really was needed on mining. I think it's a little bit weird. But luckily for me, I won't have to spend an incredible amount of time looking at those things happen because I won't really. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be gathering adamant, I'm going to be getting steel, things like that. Obviously, rune ore and mithril. But aside from that, I don't know how I feel about it. I wonder if you could toggle it off or on, just because I don't know. But so let's go ahead and finish this up. We're almost done. That's why we got rid of some of them, because it ultimately just takes an insane amount of time, and then I'm going to end up forgetting some. These ones all roll down the hill. These ones roll down the hill. So some of them are a little bit frustrating, for sure. Just so much, honestly, that I've got to mine. It's quite a bit. So let's go ahead and gather this up. It's very, very time consuming to sit here and gather all this rune essence. It's quite crazy to think how much XP I have in a skill. I've talked about it a little bit before. It's something I should talk about a little bit more. Um, Primarily, I didn't actually record a lot of videos in the very beginning when I played the game. And the large part of this is because I guess I didn't really know I was going to be doing this daily gaming thing. I just sort of played the game a lot and really enjoyed it. And then I started making building videos, and then I was just like, I mean, I knew I wanted to hit max. I did. That's why I played the game so much. But I don't really think I knew what max was because obviously it was so early in the game. There were so many things to figure out. Why does that always happen? I block, and then it actually doesn't block anything. Did they change the mechanics on the block? Not sure. It's a little bit weird. Look at all the materials on the ground over there. This is absolutely crazy. I think my inventory was probably full, and I sort of just came out here killing things. So there's quite a bit on the ground actually right now that I could pick up over there especially. But I'm not going to go do that as that's not that's not why we're out here right now. But obviously there's lots of materials probably related to cooking. I probably went out there and killed a bunch of terror birds with a full inventory, and then I no longer had space to put it all in there. But this definitely makes for a long video, doesn't it? Basically collecting rune essence. But I believe after this we've only got 3 more lodestones, and then we're going to call it a day. But obviously we're going to do an XP update before we do that. And I don't know. I'll be rather happy once I really don't have to work on rune crafting anymore, as it's quite time consuming, and I'm gonna say this is not the greatest. In the beginning, it's a little bit enjoyable, and then once you get to the point where you've basically got so many lodestones that it just takes such an incredible amount of time, it's not the same anymore. Forgot to put my rune crafting potion back on. Not sure how long that's been off, but it can be enjoyable. Um, but I think once they start to increase the skill cap, there will be more of a reason to mine it. And I think that adds a little bit of excitement as well. Knowing you actually have a reason to level it. It's sort of like, okay, I just got to get a little bit more XP and I'm going to be able to do this new rune that I can make. So obviously, I think that's going to be tremendous and really a lot of fun. So I also noticed overall, I don't really know what I was going to say, but I don't know why. But anyway, that's a little bit weird. I was trying to think of something about my base. Yeah, it's really weird actually. That's what I was going to say. I don't know why my campfires got destroyed. I've never seen anything like that before. To just sort of see all my campfires just disappear like that and fall on the ground. Potentially some sort of glitch in the game, but that's not unfortunate. I mean, can you imagine if I came back and my entire Titanic was just on the ground and in pieces of wood? It would break my heart. I would not want to go build it again. It would be tremendously devastating. That's another thing actually to consider is potentially at some point going back and deleting a little bit more that I can, but I think I really went through it pretty closely. The only thing I could get rid of really maybe would be like I can't really think of anything, but okay, so we're done with the, collecting the rune essence. Let's see if we have any. I guess we'll just put it in here, and then we'll drop this stuff over here, and then we're going to go over an XP update really quick. Let's put this back. Try to stay organized as our base is. That's never going to happen. I can't believe all the files got destroyed. I've got no idea why. So let's go ahead and do an XP update, and then we're going to call it a day. So we've got 319,000 attack XP, we've got 49,000 ranged, woodcutting 1,001,000, construction 2,013,000, rune crafting 918,289 XP. So it seems like I barely got any XP. What was it, 909,000 before or 912,000? I can't remember. So magic 123,000 XP, mining 4,216,000. Artisan 4,123,000 and cooking 356,198. So anyway, we got a little bit of progress done today, and we're going to be back tomorrow with more. And hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And thanks for watching our content. And until next time, Legion out.